Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Big Propaganda Podcast brings to you the Tag Champs Podcast, and we also bring to you the RCW Tag Team Champions of the World. We have the big, strong bastard. And we have Jay Alexander. We have the Stone Man, Edge Stone.
He altered mine too. It's all good. He altered mine too.
I told you, first 2 minutes.
First 2 minutes. I got you.
I'm not even mad about that. That was pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
energy, I felt
Because he
that.
wanted to say
I'm here for it. I know you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did say that.
No worries.
But nah, fellas, thank y'all for joining the show,
of course.
man.
Thank you for having
Jay,
us.
thank you for coming
Thanks for
back
having us,
again, man. Edge,
course, baby.
first time joining us, man.
Bro,
We
we've been
appreciate
talking
you, man.
about this. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, it's gonna be a rough 2 minutes, man. But we're gonna just jump over into it, man. Edge Stone, man. Like I said, we've had Jay on the show before. We want to get into your story, man. I want to know what got you into wrestling. What was your inspiration to do what you do?
Bro, I've been a fan of wrestling since I was 7. Literally turned on a TV one day and I didn't even know, I can't even remember who it was, but I saw a guy jump off the ropes. The next thing I'm doing, I'm jumping off my couch. And my mom is screaming, no, don't jump. I'm like, he's doing it, I'm doing it.
Right.
And dude, I literally watched it religiously ever since then. I always wanted to be a wrestler after that, but for that, basketball and football were my things to get me into college. After that, it was all about wrestling. I got my degree and I told my pops, I want to be a wrestler. He's like,
Same story
for
as
real?
me.
Like, well,
Yeah.
He's like,
same
for real? He's
story
like,
as
you
me.
got a degree. I can't tell you nothing.
Yeah.
I was like,
you
exactly.
got out of school first.
I did it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I found a school out in New Orleans, Louisiana, where I'm from, man. Wildcat Sports. I started there. Was there for 3 years. Got a tryout with WWE after that. Did really good there. And honestly, it was very eye-opening and really made me want to kick into another gear. And then came out to Houston, found Booker, and then been there for about 5 years now. I'm coming up on 8 years now. This is literally, I live my dream every single day. I get to do everything I would have never dreamed of half the things I actually can do in the ring now. And so, yeah, that's my story.
Yeah. Okay.
So let me just.
Go ahead.
So, just to let you guys know, this is Mr. Edge Stone, the man that went viral for jumping. Clearing the barricade. Bunnies, baby, bunnies.
Boing.
Okay, all right. I gotta
Super Mario, baby.
I have
Super
to
Mario.
tell you the exact. When I saw you do that, bro, I wanted to know exactly who that was because I was like, fam, I'm past the 2 minutes now. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way this dude just ran and jumped, cleared the barricade, fam, and kept moving. I was like, I need to know who that man is. He's gonna be something. Find him now. Please find him now.
And as soon as we hit Twitter and all of our groups and everything like that, all we seen was Edge Stone. Hashtag Edge Stone, Edge Stone, Edge Stone, Edge Stone, Edge Stone. I was like,
The new Super Mario, baby. The new Super Mario.
All I saw was boing and he jumps. No, that's unreal. Man.
That was
insane.
not planned. That was not expected. That was literally just an athletic instinct.
So what did when you got to the back or whatever, did anybody say anything to you about that? And if so, what
No. I had some of the guys come up to me, like some of the superstars, and they saw it was like nice jump, but it was more like our guys, the indie guys, that when I got to the back, it's like, really, you just had to jump the barricade, you just had to jump over. Funny story about that, dude. I almost busted my ass actually getting inside the barricade, literally, because I put my hand down to actually try to hop over like a normal person. I said, screw this, I'm jumping, and I literally just cleared that barricade. Next thing I know, I'm hearing a crowd just go silent for a little 1/10 of a second, and I get to the back to really, you had to jump a barricade.
that was impressive as hell, man. I was at a loss for words when it happened. I was like, there's no way the dude just did that. But I rewinded, yeah, he did that. All right, let's keep the show going.
So Wildcat Sports, we've had a lot of guests on here that's actually been through the Wildcat Sports, I guess, platform.
Yeah, the company.
How was that for you?
So that's where it all began. When I was there, I was Edrin Stone, and that. Like I said, that's the beginning. I actually started there probably about 250. Like the body changes, I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but I am anyway. The body changes over that was like while I was there, I was in my baby weight. Like, and my ass was probably about 250, 260.
Baby weight.
And no, like for real, I was like, I literally look back on pictures like that, and I was like, I was big, but I was just round.
Soft.
And it's like I had to do or pay my dues. I had to take my steps, and I learned how to do proper wrestling, and I learned really well how to tell stories, which is really what wrestling is to me, is creating something. Mm-hmm. It's not just going out there and doing flips and stuff, because we both know we can flip, we can twist, we can do whatever any guy half our size can do or twice our size can do. It doesn't matter. Like, what's important is literally creating something. That's what made me become a wrestler in the first place, is literally falling in love with the creation of it.
Okay.
I brought that stuff to Houston.
So, reality of wrestling, let's get into it. How is it to be under the tutelage of Booker T?
It is a whole fluctuation of emotions. You are both in awe. You are both in, like, literally in a stage of, I got to step everything up I've ever done. You are in slightly a bit of a competition. Like, that's the gold standard, and that's what I got to get to. Like, if I'm not impressing this guy, I'm not doing anything. And at the same time, it's just at the same time, it's a little overwhelming, man. It's a crazy thing to think that you grew up watching this guy, literally imitating his moves, and now you're getting taught by him, you're getting advice from him, you're getting critiques from him, you're getting next level intellect from him, and, well, in my case, sometimes stealing his moves. But it's incredible to have that opportunity and to be in that space when you can.
So what he says is, I guess I'm going to ask you this. So is what he says true?
Probably.
What you get from what you see from Booker, that's who he is.
100%. Look at me. 100%. When I tell you, this is where the fanboy comes out. It's the fact that you learn that Booker T is Booker T. The first thing when I met him was, all right, Stone. All right, Stone. All right, my guy. We're going to get a little good. We're going to get into it. I was like,
what's
happening?
Was little tidbit here, because I think I heard this through the grapevine. I wanted breaking news. Was it Book the one that suggested you go from Edrin to Edge?
Yes, it was. Yes,
okay.
Yes, it was. But when I got in there, he's like, Edrin. He's like, he went, Edrin.
Edrin James right here?
Nah.
Yeah.
Edge Stone. I like that.
It's funny because everybody does his voice.
Yeah.
Everybody comes on here.
Everybody up to Even Promise does.
No,
his
everyone
Promise.
who has gotten that heavy tutelage from him ends up picking up a piece of that personality. And you can't help but use a part of it, whether it's a body physical, a voice physical, a look physical, anything. There are times where I'll just give a blank stare and I'll be like, and just like pause, it's just, you can't help but pick that up because you look up to the guy and he's also giving you legit critiques to make you a better wrestler. So it's like you can't help but just absorb everything you possibly can, including the mannerisms, the energy, all that stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like, it's like I said, we get that a lot for everybody with books.
Everything. Another question I wanted to ask you. So being a reality of wrestling champion, how was that to hold basically what we call the flagship of Texas wrestling? How is that to just be the guy of that promotion?
Man, that is an honor like like no other in my career. That is a heavy top in my career. I hold many titles now, and they all mean so much to me. But that was one that I actually found out the night that I won that title. I was the only person to come that did not come from reality wrestling. I was the only non-student that's ever held that heavyweight title, and for that just shows like all the work that I put in, everything that I do to try to be better every single time. It paid off, and it continues to pay off. And I like Jay can tell it just as well as I can. In this business, it is so easy to not see the progression. It's so easy to miss like all the things that you've done because it hasn't been exactly recognized in the way that you think it would be recognized. And when it is, it's like it all just flushes over you, and you see like all the work you've been doing, man. Like I said, 8 years. When I won that title, I was at 7 years. It's
So
like,
is it more so just because of the fast pace and how everything's moving?
a little bit, yeah. Once I got that title, I got a lot more eyes on me. Once I started working like that. Once I feel like I hate to quote but the guy, and that's a heavy weight to hold. But I was ready. I felt ready to hold it, and I still feel ready to hold it. So I can't wait to get that title back.
See, and it's funny. I'm gonna piggyback off yours because I never won the road title, right? But I remember when I first came into the business, within like my first handful of matches, I had fought for the Texas title, the TV title, the tag titles. I mean, you know, I think my second or third match actually took on Edge for the TV title. But I had fought. He was actually my first like clean loss, right? So every match that I had done in the first like whatever, if it was a tag match, it was Rudy getting pinned. I had been knocked off the apron or something and had to slide in. Oh, I just missed it, or it was something where I was knocked away or knocked out, or it was a disqualification of some sorts. But I remember just even with the Texas title, I'd been fed a lot of stuff. I came in as a student, and they placed me right here from day one. And I remember they talked about my first title or what have you, and it was, I'm thinking, TV title or whatever, and the next thing I know, it's the Texas title. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because typically, like, you kind of go through like a progression, so to speak. Like you get that first title, and then it's kind of assessed like TV title, okay, to Texas title, and then from Texas title to road title, or like somewhere along that that train.
Even while saying all this, sorry to cut you off, but even while saying all this, he's being modest about it because I want to say it was the second or third match, his second or third match at Reality Wrestling, his second or third singles match. My bad. Book comes in the back. We're all together.
Oh yeah,
and he just comes in and said,
"I hated this."
He's like, "Jay, where you at? Y'all better step your shit up."
Yeah, he'd come in.
Y'all better step your shit up.
He put me dead center in front of this whole locker room. You're talking Gino Medina, Ryan Davidson. You're talking Rachel Rose,
right there.
Will All Day. Like some of the best talents in the nation. Here I am, my second match, and. He says he's coming here. He's gonna be the best performer on this stage, front of the center of the marquee. He's doing all y'all dirty, man. Y'all been here 10 plus years, and I'm just like,
really?
If I don't have heat, then I do now. Yeah. But to finish what I was saying, I was thinking, okay, so I won the Texas title. I was like, oh snap! And then here I am thinking like, oh, well, they do this in a progression like. It's funny because when I got the Texas title, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a champion. I got this. I'm ready for this. Heck yeah! Like, give me the road title. I'm gonna carry it all. But it's funny when I got the Texas title up into the point where I lost it. I really quickly realized like, man, you weren't ready. You really weren't ready. And so that's honestly, he's taken over Row and he's killing it at Row. Whereas like I did my time, X amount of whatever time I was there, and then I was like, man, I got a lot to figure out. So I stepped away because. For someone like Stone, he came in and built his way up and to where he is now, and it's well deserved. I came in, was placed at the very top, and I did very well. But the problem with being placed on the very top of this pedestal, you have to do better.
You miss all that development in the
exactly.
middle.
So you have to do better, and so the minute you slip or something, it's a long way down, right? And so that's pretty much how my story went, which is funny that we're sitting here together, like I would say one of the best tag teams, not just in the state, but like anywhere, but like to see our paths, him go straight up to the top at Row and me kind of plummet, so to speak. And I'm an honest man enough to say like I didn't hold my weight where I was supposed to. Different story now. Obviously, taking the time off, I was only gone for a year. But I don't care if it's a 5 minute.
Came back with fury.
Yeah, I could literally. I was talking to Kevin. I was like, man, 2024. Let's see where we're at. I would have no problem whatsoever coming back because it's a whole fresh slate. It's a whole new Jay Alexander entirely. Now it's like 5 minute bell to bell. Gotcha. 5 minute curtain to curtain. Gotcha. 30-minute bell to bell. Easy. 30-minute bell to bell. Cool. Like I can. It doesn't matter what it is now. Like I'm so confident in my beliefs and stuff and how I feel and everything and how I can perform now. Absolutely. Completely different story.
But see, sometimes you need that step back.
You do.
So
you can adapt.
So you can you can basically just see what you did, see where you're at, and then go from there. So like even with now as we have the big propaganda network. Mm-hmm. It started off with two dudes that ain't even here right now.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah.
And they took a step back, regrouped some stuff, started networking, got us. We started networking, and from here, look at where we at now. Like Ryan Davidson actually texted me and said, "Hey man, I got like 20 to 40 new followers just because of you guys' platform."
Exactly.
So sometimes you need that step back, and it actually gives you a little clarity.
No, I was, and it's funny because like when I tell this story, to my like close personal loved ones, they instantly get defensive, like, oh, Book screwed you or this, that, or the other, and I'm like, not at all. I was like, I came out looking like $1 million, right? I was a very quick learner. I picked things up within the second time I did it, right? Like you don't start out your first match. Right, in wrestling, right, with a 15-minute main event with Will Alday for the Texas title, right? Yeah. Your second match is, you're in a tag team. It's you and I think it was Rudy, which Rudy's been, rolling for a few years. Yep. It's you and Rudy versus Familia for the tag titles, right? Okay, and then you're getting protected, right? So for both of those matches, it was a disqualification, or it was, I got knocked off the apron, or Rudy got rolled up, or something, and then, progressing down, like, oh, now your third match is Edge Stone in a 1-on-1 12-minute for the TV title, right? Like, now, granted, that's my first loss, but obviously,
he gives you shit about it.
No, actually, he's never said a word about it. Funny enough, actually.
No, but he'd give me shit about it.
But yeah, so like you come in and you're already like right there. So like Edge said, there was a lot of developmental stuff that I really didn't like get a chance to mold and build. It was okay, I'm up here. I gotta stay up here. I have to stay impressing and continue to be better. And I didn't even know how to do that. So once, I guess the shine started wearing off, you start noticing these little tidbits here and there that, that millisecond was off on that kick. It's a millisecond. That's not a big deal. Workers would notice that, but, not really the crowds or anything. But, like, then you start kind of, deteriorating, so to speak. The shine starts kind of wearing off, and you start noticing, like, okay, so after all of that, it was, and I still ended, pretty in a good space. Everything I was doing, I was in the final, I was the one that was maintaining, the backbone of the match, or I was one of the ring generals if we were doing a multi-man or something that had to guide and, call certain things. So, obviously I didn't just hit the bottom of the barrel, but there was a certain spot of like, man, I'm semi-main eventing Summer of Champions with Terrell Tempo to now I'm in a battle royal to open the show. Like, obviously there's it doesn't correlate. So for me, it was like, all right, well, let me just take a step back and just reevaluate, because there's a lot of stuff that I got to figure out. So 2022 into 2023, Jan 1, 2023, here I am. I mean, you're talking about some of the best talents in the nation, Shane Taylor, Alexander Hammerstone, Anthony Andrews, Khan, like Barrett Brown, guys that, I'm getting a real chance to say, okay, you don't have someone holding your hand or anything. You don't have, the blanket, the security of, being one of Book's guys or what have you, whatever they'd say in the back. Now you're on your own. It's either make or break. And I'm taking, and that's where my confidence really started to build. Like, all right, I know how to put together a match. All right, I know the crowd's not responding to this. We're going to audible it. Or like, hey, I'm going to grab something. Let's, this, or whatever. We're talking, we're building, we're going elsewhere. We're doing this, we're doing that. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. It doesn't matter. Like, the confidence just skyrocketed. The names built up, like the championships added up. I've never been paid more. I've been in front of multiple thousand people crowd. So like, completely different ball game. But really, for me, it was learning, like figuring out, okay,
The nuances.
yeah, the nuances, right? Like, and filling in those gaps that I missed.
Those micro details that only
Exactly.
comes with time and experience.
Exactly. So I'll go in with some of, working with the top guys, like you're talking about a Shane Taylor and a Hammerstone, or, guys like that, like they get it off rip, and it's ABC, cool, see you out there, right? It's that simple.
Genius.
As opposed to like some indie guys that like I'm talking to, and it's like, oh, we do this, this, and this. I'm like, okay, so we have 8 minutes. I was like,
all this in it.
I was,
exactly what he's talking
so
about.
I'm like, okay, let's do this, right? You have 4 things in that sequence, right? Let's go 1, 2, bang, do this, I'll do that. You go here, you go there. You're working to that, I'll reverse this, then you hit it. Okay, so instead of you hitting 4 things back to back to back to back, crowd doesn't know what the hell they just saw. They see a struggle. They see us, exactly. And like with me, especially as heel, doing something, the tug of war, back and forth, into where you're earning what you're getting in the end, and it saves a little bit more. It saves time, but it also is a bigger payoff. It's stuff like that. So it's like, all right, we have 8 minutes. Like the 2 things, and it wasn't until I left books that like I really, for the time being at least, because I do plan on being back, that I left books that really everything started falling into place and clicking, where it's just like, all right, I got this match. It's 8 minutes against this person. Okay, what's the story? Which is books number 1, right? What's the story? Because it doesn't matter if you have 3 minutes, right? Or it doesn't matter if you have 30 minutes. Your story, you should be able to tell that story in 3 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, and what's your time? It's the same concept, right? Because in 3 minutes, if we have to tell this story, it should be bang, bang, boom, 1, 2, 3. If it's 30 minutes, now you prolong it to where when that finish, because ultimately that's what the most important thing of a match is the finish, right? When you get to that finish, there it is. The story makes sense. The story's told right there within that finish. The difference is you have 3 minutes to do it, you have 30 minutes to do it. Those are the top 2 things. And all that really started kind of falling into place where I'm thinking, I'm seeing it, hearing that voice in my head. We're going over this match. I'm like, okay. And to where now we have 8 minutes of solid, back and forth. That makes sense. There's a story there. Everything's accounted for. Every strike, every slam, every, second, or, every 5 or 10 seconds we have the jaw jack with this fan, or do this with that fan, or whatever. It all falls into place and totally makes sense.
So I'll since I have been watching you over the past year, we talk pretty frequently. The one comparison I'll give you to how you have progressed and things have been going, Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Drew McIntyre was the chosen one. Fell hard. Went to go do his thing on the Indies. Came back, became a monster.
See, and I don't know if I could say I was the chosen one, so to speak, but I get you boost the shit out of me all the time. He's one of my, I tell you what, he's one of my favorite people to have around.
I'm just saying, but you just
as
have
a
to
friend, because he always makes sure I'm up here.
You can call him chosen one.
Yeah.
He's tried to stop a bullet or 2.
I'm just saying, like, just
there were high hopes, and I didn't live up to it. You're right. It took a step back, reevaluated, came back. Completely different person, completely different character. So,
and that's how you got to see it.
That's what it is. So I'm very defensive of book and reality wrestling, because I wouldn't be who I am or where I was without reality wrestling. Because I'll tell you right now, and I live and die by this. The one thing, if anything, that reality wrestling, if it's one thing, they make sure MFers are trained right.
Yes,
they make sure MFers are trained right. It is mind-boggling when I go elsewhere, and you this is why we stress what we stress. I know Stone more so because he trains the newbies. When I go and I roll around here and there, I just listen in. I really, if I say, can I say one thing? Absolutely. I really emphasize, like, y'all need to understand and really take the time to listen to what you're being told, and really let this marinate and sink into your brain, because you will go out there to the independents and you will see Joe Schmo in a 8, 10, so, there's times where promoters give you 20 minutes. They're like, dude, I'm third on the card. What do I need 20 minutes for? Right. I'll tell you what, we'll do 10. Okay. At max, like curtain to curtain, 10. Tell you a good enough story. We're third match. We don't need all this. We don't need all that extraness. But anyway, I'm like, you'll go out and you'll face Joe Schmo, and he won't know his asshole from his mouth. He won't know. And there's so many times, man, where like you'll get in a match with an indie guy, and not naming any names, I've been very fortunate and blessed in my career to have faced a lot of really good talents, independent and signed. But there have been maybe less than a handful where I've shot plenty of stuff. Thankfully, I'm a heel, and okay, the heat's starting early, or you know what, the heat's going to run a little longer because they don't want to sell, or they're dying on me, or or they don't, hey, take this, and they go to throw it. You're not throwing it right at all, so I don't go. I'm shooting something else on you. Okay, what do you know? Okay, a body slam. Cool. Well, slip out of this and give me that body slam. Oh no, here we go with the body slam. Okay, you know how to give a body slam. Or they go to give me the body slam and they completely either don't have any strength to get me up, or they don't tuck my head or anything. Thankfully, I know how to protect myself. But this all comes down to training. Right, because that's why you're taught the roles you're taught. That's why you're taught extensively the roles you're taught. Why you're taught to hit the ropes a certain way, and there's no other place truly. There's a lot of good places, good training schools out there that teach really good workers. But reality wrestling is I don't care where you're from or whatever, is number one in how they train for a reason. You come out of there, if you're trained from A to Z the right way. That's why you get put on the card, or you get a booking. Before anyone else who isn't trained at reality wrestling, because they know guys that come out of reality wrestling know how to work, and they know how to protect themselves, and they know how to protect others.
Definitely.
Also know how to mess people up. Just saying.
That's being safe.
Saying.
Be snug, but be safe.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I'm very fortunate for my size that I can just change the pace of a match very fast, and I'm very glad when I don't have to, but I get a little excited when I do have to. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, look, before I started wrestling, I ran security on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. So you
definitely know how to beat people up.
I do what I need to. I do what I need to do.
Take over what you need to.
Dude, this is 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Dealing with nothing but assholes and drunk people, and nothing but dudes that want to test their will against the guy at the bar.
He's the biggest guy. What's up, big guy?
This is 3 years of that. This was 3 years of that before I did wrestling.
You're a common sense, sensible young man.
I don't care how drunk I could be. No, I'm not trying that one.
I'm just not looking to be like,
I'm good. I'm gonna sober up a little bit. Man, I need a
let me
water
take that little one over there.
They said somebody get stoned. I said, on my way.
I think that's gonna be our next shirt. It's just gonna say FAFO on the back. Overkill. Yeah.
Oh man.
So nice transition to that segment.
Speaking of
Overkill. That's a nice transition like that.
I think it's
Speaking
reversed
of
though, but
overkill, man.
Overkill, man.
Jesus Christ.
Overkill.
How did that?
you get to like overkill. You're the loud one. I'm the one that goes overkill, and you go
Overkill.
overkill.
How did that come about? Like, how did y'all?
Oh man, so
how did that come? How did this team come about?
Ironically enough, a Rumble.
So the team. So
we did a Rumble together at
Yes.
RCW, and we literally just the second we got in, we both were cleaning house, like just doing
doing our shit. Just doing our regular stuff.
It just happened to just throw one guy out this ring. I was throwing out a guy over here.
He came in. He gave me. I think it was what was it? You gave me a was it a belly to belly? You gave me a slam of some sort.
Oh yeah, no, it was belly belly.
No. It was because I stole it from you. It was the side sui. You bastard! Yeah, but I like to keep my guy snug. He just heaves you.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember he gave me a side sui, and I was
call
like,
it a special delivery.
and so we're doing our thing, and I see him. He's wide open. The mat's open, so I'm like, all right, he's gonna get something now. So he turns around, we do something, and I go, I'm just gonna give you a body slam. So I picked him up and set him down, and he sold it and everything. But it was that was pretty much just came in individually for this just Rumble. And I remember it was Brandon Oliver, the head promoter and at RCW, and I remember for me, I don't know how he got booked, but I know for me, I sent him a message like, because I've been trying to get on RCW for a minute, and I was like, hey, Mr. Oliver, I see you have a Rumble, just throwing it out there. If you need a body, you won't regret it. So he's like, you know what? Sure. What's your fee? Shot on my fee, and that's always tentative too, because I know I haven't been going as long as like Stone has, but I'm also not like first year in, and even when I came in, I had a higher kind of fee than most. So now I'm pushing it a little bit more in the higher echelon. And so I was like, man, I don't know if he's going to take this because who am I or whatever, but he took it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So obviously, he sees that I'm worth it. So, that's how I got in, just kind of shot a message. Hey, if you need a body, just let me know. And oh yeah, what's your fee? Cool. Yeah, we got you. Sweet. Did you say, how'd you get
He hit me up.
Okay, see, there you go. He hit Stone up. Yeah, fair enough. No, he hit Stone up, and so I guess that's how we got in the Rumble together. We both did our own thing, and then
He was very impressed with us.
Yeah.
and then he texted
he shot
us
me a
individually.
message. Well,
He texted us individually.
Okay.
And then did a group chat, and he's like, and he hit I don't know how he hit you up, but he's like, hey, you did did an awesome showing at the Rumble. Just thinking about putting you in a tag team with Jay Alexander.
he didn't say it to me. He sent me a text. He's like, "Yeah, I'll put you in a tag with Edge Stone."
And he's like, I was like, I would like to put you in a tag team with Jay Alexander. I said, hell yeah.
I looked at I looked at my phone. I literally go.
I'm like,
I like
why?
laughed.
Hell
I was
yeah.
like, why?
Like, why?
But
Hell yeah.
not like negatively. Like I was like, who's gonna beat us? I was like, we both are very, good individuals, competitors. Like we both have have had multiple championships through our careers, and it's like now, it's inevitable that now we're gonna dominate the tag team circuit. Like that was just the first thing that popped in my mind, and as in all fairness, and I was like, with respect, there's tag teams that have been together that are family or that have been running together for since they got into wrestling. I'm like, well, sorry, but we're coming in.
No, he told me that. I was like, we're gonna take everything.
As soon as I saw that, I think I saw a picture of them together, and I was like, "Wait!"
I saw the promo. I saw the
Chico,
promo
why?
video.
Why would they do this?
Yeah. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be fun. So
I was like, because the team, if there's a team that's out there that can possibly find a way to do it. I don't know.
We pray for y'all.
Yeah,
No,
it's gonna be hard.
Y'all gonna get a beating
because
before y'all get it.
Because it's fun because the dynamic is like you think, we'll just get two big boys. It's like, well, we're not the smallest guys, right?
They
But
can move. They
but
can move everybody.
but we're strong. We're not if you want to get 200, 300, 400 pounders, like that's fine. They'll be bigger than us in size, but we'll easily pick them up. You want us to base? No. We'll just pick you up, right? Or vice versa. Get some of the tiniest guys that can flip all over the place. We can do that too. We can flip all over the place too.
Not that there's a point to doing it, but
we don't.
We can do that.
And I was gonna say we don't have to do it. We'll just catch you and chunk you. But if you want to go tit for tat, we'll flip all over you too.
Man, don't make us embarrassed.
So that's what makes it fun. And it's like,
I mean, when you get down to it, it's a bit overkill.
So funny thing is, I remember when I was like a trainee and I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm like everyone boosts me up because I've got this wide, stocky frame. Oh, big, you're big, whatever. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I'm shorter than, but you're as wide as you are tall. Okay, whatever. So like, just do like big man stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking I'll mix it up, right? So I started doing moonsaults, right? Well, then I remember Chris Russo, one of the earlier, the newer trainee, newer to an intermediate trainee trainers. He's like, you're a heel. He's like, don't give him that. Don't give him a moonsault. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So sometimes I would go to do it. I would set it up, slam him, get in front of him like I was going to do it, and then hit him with the, and then I wouldn't do it. But there wasn't, an instance here or there where, like, if I'm facing Stone, I finally get him down, I'm going to capitalize on it. There's the moonsault, right?
I got you, buddy.
So I remember I was like, I'm gonna do moonsaults. I shit you not. It was like that week or the week later. We're doing the drive-in shows, right? Because it's still COVID and stuff. And I'm practicing on this mat. And I look out, and I know it's Stone, Gino, and maybe one or two other guys, Q and Zach. Okay, so yeah, for the TV title. Yeah, and this fool does a moonsault off the apron, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing a moonsault. I was like, this dude's like 6'4", 250.
Off the apron.
Yeah, he hit a moonsault off the apron. I was like, well, this dude's 6'4", 250. Like, I'm not doing moonsaults. That's fine. Way to kill my dream. So anyway, so I still did it here and there. I was like, if Stone's on the card, I'm not doing it. So
hey, like you, I also got told be a big man.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're a legit big man though. You're like 6'4", 250.
But again, jumping barricades, jumping just about everything. I can flip. I can dip.
Yeah,
I'm just all around.
So, building on the overkill thing real quick, you said I'm gonna answer your question before you ask it. How did the team, how did we become that? So the formation was there, but how we became Overkill is we met up at Row, just to see all right, what can we throw together, tag team moves or whatever. And it's funny because literally it's like, I'll just gorilla press him to you, and then you give him the Samoan drop. Oh, well, what if but I'm like, what if I do this? And slowly we're just ping ponging ideas, like just easy, like this or the other. Oh, let's.
Superman moves over here.
No, literally.
I throw them to you, dog.
But it's like,
Easy, I
but
catch
it's
you,
like,
don't worry.
We used it.
and we're going over this, and so I'm like, so we're both talking. We're like, what are we gonna call this? Like, it's like, and I was telling him, I was like, dude, like it's funny, it's crazy, like all these moves, man, they're overkill. And Stone literally goes just like that, and he goes, that's our team name.
That's it.
And I was just
That's
like,
it. That's
there's
it.
not a team called Overkill. And I was
That's
like,
it.
and if you look at us, like what we can do, what we bring, it's overkill.
It is.
Like, all of our double team moves, like
Everything is a beyond finisher.
it literally is as simple as like, oh, you
It may
know,
be regular moves to anybody else, but
that's what I'm saying. But because of how it's thrown and stuff, it looks like we did a freaking drop kick into a spine buster, and old boy's like he feeds around. I scoop him up. Because on my spine busters, I get full
You're
extension
welcome.
high up in the air, so I get him all the way up.
You're
Stone
welcome.
comes in full extension on the drop kick. I mean, that in itself is a beautiful picture already, but I've got him all the way up in the air. Here comes Stone's big ass with a flying drop kick, hits him on the drop kick, and then I fling him down for the spine buster, the AA spine buster. It's like, it's a spine buster, it's a drop kick, but then you combine the way we do it, it's like, damn, that's overkill.
I need y'all for my WWE 2K.
Oh, man, I'm surprised we haven't been tagged in any of those. For real.
You know, it needs that.
But yeah, so that's how the name came, right? So the formation was Brandon Oliver with RCW, and then the name was just us throwing kind of stuff at the wall, and then Stone was just like, that's it,
right there.
and so we ran with it.
And then also like what really also helped bring us together was the cinematic genius of Dan.
Dan. Yeah, Dan makes us look like $1 million.
This dude just like there's
love
no matter
Dan
what.
here.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
Dan
We're a
is
Dan guy.
like dude, Dan is amazing. He literally just told us to do what we do,
Yeah.
be who we are, and he's just gonna follow us around. Our first video we made, I was just being a jackass in the parking lot waiting for this dude to show
Just a
up.
second. Oh yeah. It was, yeah.
And I get on the phone with him, and I don't even realize Dan's filming this stuff.
Yep.
And I'm like, where you at, man? He's like, I'll be pulling up a little bit. All right, cool. Bye. I'm like,
He goes, okay,
he's
love
like,
you.
you waiting for your tag, bro? I was like, I'm waiting for Jay Alexander,
Yeah.
the Texas Terminator.
And I think that weekend, me and Ryan were on the road together. So it was me, Ryan, and then my girl was with me too. But yeah, we'd done a GCWA that Friday, and then we rolled together to RCW. And I think he was rolling back with Q and I think Sarah on Sunday. It was something like that. So me and Ryan get out of the car, and as soon as I get out the car, I see Dan already pointing the camera, and then Stone. And it's, we do our normal, which is funny. The thing we do, the hand thing is
The mega powers.
Mega
powers.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
and Apollo.
Arnold and Apollo. Yeah, that's where
bastard.
that's where it comes from.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. And then there's the fire up. Yeah.
Oh my God, Predator's such a great movie.
Yeah, 5 months later, 4 championship matchups, 2 acquisitions, 1 defense, and then the first one we got DQ'd. We cost ourselves. We shot ourselves in the foot.
By the time we got our first, us getting our first, our first tag team titles was my 5th title and your 4th title. Yeah,
Was it?
I think so. Because at the time when we first won it, you had 3 titles of your own.
Yeah.
I had 4 titles. I had 4 titles, and then we just won these tag titles together, and it was just like we're just looking at each other as like, we're gonna need a bigger bag.
No, he actually put me on he had a couple bags from another promotion that he was using, and then I was like, where'd you get that? I like that because I've got belts too, and and so he told me about it. I did a lot of research, and I found a company that makes custom belts. They make custom bags, so I bought a couple of their bags. But no, I think all in all, like since our inception, Overkill's inception, like March, I think it was
That's a damn thesaurus.
5. Yeah, right. Yeah, 5 total for him, 4 for me. So we were in our inception 9 total championships together in in that short amount of time. And it was funny because as soon as we got together, I was getting messages out the wall. I counted 4 off rip that were like, oh hey, you and Stone are tag Overkill, we're gonna put the belts on y'all.
That's good.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh well, in wrestling,
it makes sense.
but with wrestling,
It's
it's exciting. Well, it's exciting. You're like, oh heck yeah, and then with wrestling, you're just like, sweet, I look forward to it. And then obviously it has to happen because in wrestling, things can change on a dime.
Exactly.
And it's like
Car subject to change.
So one of them followed through. We ended up doing that. which love Aaron Presley, 360
so
Pro.
good, 360.
He's awesome, man. And so he hit me up and was like, "Hey, man, I need someone for Dark Circus. Great guys, but they're they even outright told us like, my dad's never seen me wrestle. Like, they just wanted to see us, win the belt, so we did that for my dad. But we're totally cool with dropping it with T-Hawk. So we're like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's how they want to book it. Like, okay. And so Aaron's like, hey, yeah, man, like at the Big Spring show, yeah, y'all are gonna take it off Dark Circus. So, okay, sweet. So
Like you could stop us.
so that's where those ones came from. And then the RCW ones are getting spit shined right now, getting cleaned for our appearance this weekend. So
Yeah.
nice and squeaky clean.
If y'all in the San Antonio area,
Oh yeah.
Are you thinking dives this weekend?
If there's any, oh man, there's enough people for it.
What the fuck?
It's an 8-man.
This big man, this big 6'4",
It's a
250 pound bastard talk about dives.
Yeah, 5'10",
Right, hey, we
230.
talking
Only
about
if
those
it
dives?
makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
Hey, I'm just gonna say there's 8
need at
guys
least
in this
3
match. There's 8 guys in this match, so
More than enough.
it makes sense. So we'll figure it out.
I'm jumping ropes. Boy.
Oh man, that's golden. Hey, but before we get out of here, I have to do my speed round with Edge. We had one with Jay already.
Terrible.
No, it's nothing too difficult, man. It's just I'm gonna ask you a few questions. You tell me the first name that pops into your head. It could be you, could be Jay if you want to, whoever comes to your mind.
That's
So
what my teachers told me in school. It's gonna be simple.
yeah, it is.
And they fail you.
Yeah, right.
That's tough.
So
It's gonna be a simple test. 10 questions. I didn't get one right.
So to start off, your favorite wrestler currently?
Jay Alexander. Next. Just kidding. Just kidding.
No, honestly, Ryan Davison.
Yes.
Okay,
My favorite too.
all time.
All time, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, favorite female wrestler currently?
Currently, Promise Braxton.
And all time.
All time, China.
Okay. Favorite high flyer currently?
Uh,
I'm not a high flyer. Don't. Oh, okay. No. He was telling me. I'm not a high flyer.
no, I'm blanking on the name. I'm blanking on the name because I'm having a brain fart, and that sucks. But favorite high flyer, I'm gonna go ahead and go with Nathan Bradley.
And you know what? Shout out to Nathan Bradley.
I just want to make sure because he would kill me if I actually say this. And he's not ranked as a high flyer, but just because of the things that this dude can do, both off the ropes and on his feet, no matter where you place him.
Yes,
he's just
he's so good.
Okay.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, shout out to Nathan Bradley. Dude is a stud.
amazing.
He's a stud.
If you can have him on here, y'all need to reach
He's
out
a
to him.
stud.
He needs to be on there. That dude is crazy.
He's so sweet too. He's such a
Look
class
his stuff
act.
up.
Okay.
Stone gave us an endorsement.
Oh, man.
I will endorse that
we go.
dude all the time.
Yes,
I call him
Jay Alexander, Edgestone, individually endorsed, Overkill endorsed. Yes, all 3.
Nathan Bradley.
Nathan Bradley is the
Nate Bradley.
sweetest man, most down to earth guy, one of the best in ring performers.
Amazing.
Easy.
Ridiculous.
So the same question, but all time.
All time, Edgestone.
Fair enough.
No. Randy Orton.
High flyer, Randy.
Randy. High flyer. My bad. Then I'm gonna go back to original Edgestone.
Okay. Fair enough.
Touchdown.
I won't be.
I won't deny that. I've seen it.
Favorite technical wrestler currently.
Greatest technical wrestler. Ryan.
I say you could put Randy there too, but Ryan. You could fill in the blank for Ryan anywhere.
Like seriously.
You really could.
Like that
Yeah,
dude
you
is
really
just
could.
everything. Like I'm gonna give him double props on that dude. He will literally break every bit of a match down. Like I'll be honest, whenever he's on a show, whenever I'm on a show with him, I legit call him my IT guy.
Right, yeah, no,
I say that as a huge compliment because
Yes.
like if I can't think of anything, if I can't figure anything out, if I don't understand something that's being told to me, he's the guy I go to. And I
He's
was like, I
literally-
need you to help me. I'll say it. I'm not.
You see
I'm not
the
too
gif?
big for my bridges to say that shit. I will go up to Ryan like, I need your help. I need your expertise. Help me.
He's the meme, the gif where it's the cameras through the glass and like there's all these like symbols and there's a scientist trying to like put it together. Like
That's him.
if there's a finish or something if there's a finish or something that a show or you're trying to figure out, you know, how does ABC connect to XYZ, and there's a finish you don't understand. You literally just Ryan,
Seriously.
like, and he'll literally just like do this witchcraft voodoo, unlock the Da Vinci Code, and
It's ridiculous. It's
he
ridiculous.
gave me at GCW. I had a multi-man with a bunch of greenhorns, and no disrespect to like any guy in that match, but like I was supposed to fight for the Extreme Championship against Cruz, Adrian Cruz, I think, but then Max Castellanos ended up coming back, and he took that over. Anyway, I was with all these greenhorns, and I'm just like, man, they all want to do this and that. I'm like, I'm getting overwhelmed. I haven't eaten, and if you know, I have to eat every 2 to 3 hours.
He gets
so
cranky.
it
He
was
gets
like
cranky.
4 hours or 5 hours in, and I'm just like, I don't even want to go over this match. I don't care. Like, I'm supposed to go over anyway. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I literally just told him, like, y'all piece together y'all stuff. I'll back end it. And then I said, hey, Ryan, what's a dope finish? And he literally told me the finish. I'm like, we're doing that. So y'all do what y'all want to do. I'll come in, clean house, and then we're doing that finish. Who wants to take it? Oh, you want to take it, Gotti? Cool. I appreciate you. You know, that's, you know, good. That's points for you for offering to take the finish. That's awesome. So that was pretty much what happened. Ryan gave me the finish for that. Yep, we're rocking with that. Y'all do y'all stuff. I'm going to back end it. I'll see y'all out there.
Wrap it up.
And that was that. So anyway, sorry, that was my piece on
No,
Ryan.
you're good.
And just to finish that one off, all-time technical wrestler,
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. Okay,
Randy
I like
Orton.
that.
But I'm gonna add one question.
Go ahead.
I want to add one question for one more shout out. At least one that comes to mind right now. And for me, it's favorite brother to fight. Favorite brother to fight. I'm gonna go ahead and say the buzzard himself, Tommy
Hey,
Bolton.
TV, yeah.
Because no one gives that. Like, I swear, it don't matter. We could have done a whole weekend, a full booked weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Done a freaking beat up match on Friday, beat up match on Saturday. Don't want to do nothing. You find out you're fighting Tommy Bolton. It's like like for me personally, me and him.
Dude,
wanna
he's
go,
crazy.
Go head to head.
I've only faced him one time, and I was so disappointed. This is one of my one of my sticks that when I was on my way, like when I was telling Kevin, like I said, love Rowe, love Book, no heat whatsoever. Like everyone there is awesome, but I remember telling Kevin, you know, we did my my Fall Fury match with Tommy, and they had him go over, which is fine. Like, you know, Tommy's awesome. He deserves, you know, everything. He deserves, you know, a push. He deserves everything. And even Tommy's like, I'm like, all right, Tommy, you know, they said clean. What do you want? He goes, dude, I don't want to beat you clean. He's like, I'm going to roll you up. And I was like, you can do anything you want, and you want to roll me up. And so he's like, yeah, man, I don't want to beat you clean, bro. You're a former Texas champ and everything. I'm like, yeah, but you're like the measuring stick of like toughness in Row. Like, you know, you just tell me what you want to do. No, I'm gonna backslide. And it's funny because one of the comments in the video was like, oh, a backslide finish. Like that, hey, shout out. That was different. Like, that was cool. And that was all Tommy. Yeah, we did the Fall Fury match with Tommy. And then the next show I had a meet and greet. So I was like, okay, cool. I finally, you know, get my time to, you know, see people. So, you know, good amount of people came through. Oh, you got tonight, this, that, or the other. Well, you know, I'm not working tonight. And I'm like, oh, we'll see, you know, because things change on a moment's notice. So, you know, I'm still waiting to hear what's going on. And, you know, but from as far as I know, they don't have me booked. And so I'm just, you know, I'm getting kind of salty because I'm like, man, I've never not been booked. Like, what's going on? And again, this is Ryan to a saving grace, you know, the philosophy and the wisdom that he brings. And so he pulled me to the side and we had a good conversation and set me straight. I was like, and I told Kevin, I was like, man, y'all, that was an easy 3-piece. We had 1, 2, 3 Christmas Chaos, right? Had me in the Battle Royal. Of course, I could work the Battle Royal. That's fine. In the final, that's cool. But why not have Tommy roll me up in Fall Fury, have me get something cheap on him the next show, and then blow it off and then just in a gimmick match, you know, no DQ, whatever, as just part of a little minimal story to close out the year, right? Give Tommy the rub, you know, especially like you really want to put him over. Like he backslides me, he powders out. Oh, I'm gonna get you. You didn't beat me. You survived. Next matchup, come in, something cheap. You know, I'm better than you. Oh, that's why you had to cheat to beat me. Cut a promo or two. And then here's Christmas Chaos, little gimmick match. Tommy's over clean, fair and square with this finish. Big baby moment right there to end the little 3-piece, right? Gives Tommy the rub because he's a good brother, man. He deserves everything and more. That was one of my things. I was just like, man, y'all missed out on that opportunity, really, to make something really good happen there. But yes, Tommy Bolton, another one.
Dude, so good. And like, I headbutt everybody. That dude will eat it.
Oh, dude, he's like,
and he will headbutt
Oh.
me. Like it's like I basically like they say it on reality wrestling. It's like he's like I got the headbutt under the tutelage of Time Bone. He practiced headbutt.
Yeah.
He practiced headbutting me. I practiced headbutting him. He asked me to headbutt him.
dude,
To practice.
Tommy,
Tommy's practice.
Tommy's a psycho. I'm like,
In a beautiful way.
and I'm like, bro, I need to practice
Said he practiced the headbutt.
the nightmare pendulum, right?
Didn't Zello say he getting him for shots and chops?
He got it, dog.
Yeah, he got that one.
He got that one. Zello got that one. Yeah.
So,
brother.
No, this is Tommy in a nutshell. I literally am like, man, it's like, wrestling, you steal a bunch of stuff, right? I'm like, man, like, no one's doing, outside of, Hammerstone, no one's doing a nightmare pendulum. I was like, I might mess around and see about throwing it, a time or two. We'll see. And so I'm like, well, let me practice it, right? So we put the mat out and everything, and I'm like trying to figure out, because we're doing stalling suplexes on trainees. Right, this is Tommy's training. Tommy's training, and so I'm like, okay. Well, I was like, hey, and he actually was the one that brought it up, ironically, and I was like, oh shoot. I was like, I've actually been wanting to practice that. We already have the mat here, so if we want to practice it, he goes, dude, do it to me. I was like, who in the world
Of course he did.
offers
Of course.
to take stuff? Like, he's the first person.
That was how me and Tommy built like the beginning of our friendship. Literally, just when we both ended up showing up at Row at a time. He's like, hey, do you have any moves you want to practice?
Do it to me.
Do it to me.
Hey,
No matter what it is.
The funny thing is, I was saying this. I would say the same thing. I was like, okay, but if I give you one, you got to hit me with something. And Tommy's a strong mother himself.
Oh, yeah.
because he will lift me up like I'm like a bag of potatoes.
Yes.
Oh, Stone, you losing weight?
Yeah.
Asshole.
I had to preface that too. I prefaced that when we were doing those said stalling suplexes. There were some cats, some trainees that they need to hit the gym a little bit more, right? Like there is a strength component to this, right? Like guys, and this is why I was very big on saying, you're gonna get out in the independents and you're gonna see guys that can't work, right? Not everybody's gonna know how to base. Not everyone's gonna keep their feet together. Not everyone's gonna be trained to dot their I's and cross their T's, right, on doing moves. And so we're doing this with Tommy, and whether or not the guys are doing it right, if you're giving and taking it, Tommy's going to make you look like $1 million if you're giving it to him or taking it from him. And so we're interchanging, right? Because you're going through X amount of trainees, it gets tiring, right? So I'm here, I'll jump in with you. And so I was helping him out with that, taking it and giving it, whatever. And I was real big because there were a couple guys I could tell that were sandbagging him, but he was getting them up. And I was like, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, he's a friggin' hoss, right? Like, help him out because I'm not gonna. I can get you too, but I'm not as nice as Tommy, and I'll shoot on you, right? You better post, and you better put your feet together.
I'll just drop you.
See, but Tommy won't do that. Tommy's a sweetheart. Anyway, Tommy, I've only had one match with him. Fall Fury, but everything, that was one that was super easy to do because it's funny, this Good Brother, it's pretty much a club, like this Good Brother club, like it literally is.
I've had like 15 matches with him.
Yeah, so I've only had one, but like you already know, like if it's Edgestone, if it's Tamaku, if it's Nate Slater, if it's Ryan Davidson, Jay Alexander, like
Izzy.
There's this Good Brother club, like if you're like we all
Jordan Jensen.
See, I'm not familiar with Jordan Jensen. I know him. I know of him. I've never like had a good coverage. But like the Good Brother Club, like if you're in that circle or with that group of guys, like you're in good company. Those are good workers. Those are those are good brothers. So
Absolutely.
that's our crew.
So, yeah.
Two more, just it was it. But I know I
You
like
got
the
it.
story.
What's up?
I
already know currently favorite
I'm gonna
tag
sit back
team,
and let you.
so that's out of the question. I don't need to ask that one.
Are you sure? Are you sure? I might surprise you. I might surprise you.
Favorite tag team.
Overkill.
You want to get his tag out.
I'm okay with that. And, all time.
Dudley Boys.
See, I didn't answer this one last time, so I'm gonna answer two Hardys.
Okay.
I was a diehard Hardy boy.
Now,
fan.
I do want to ask both of y'all a question. Who is the one person you can say you get in the ring and the chemistry is just there?
Ooh.
Like, yeah, it's like almost like you just get in the ring and like we not talking about it before I just meet you in the ring.
It's the squad. It's honestly the squad.
You know,
for me, it's the whole squad now.
You can honestly, like I said, the Good Brother group, like you can get in
that
there
whole
and
squad,
just trust
any of them.
everybody. I'm gonna say recently, man, Dante Smiley.
I have not had the pleasure.
Dude, he's a freaking nature athlete, but like I don't know what it is, man. Like you know how we both give and take stuff. Like we did a 15-minute not main event. It was a show opener actually, but it's because he played a part in the booking. He was like, man, I want to get the hell out of town. So he booked us at the beginning of the match, or beginning of the show, which was fine because it was a tag team crowning their tag team gimmick. So there was a whole thing at the end. So it was all tag teams, which is fine. Which I did pitch Overkill, by the way. You already know.
Always.
But no, so we started out again. It was his OIWA heavyweight championship, international championship, because they do a lot of stuff in the UK as well. They're like a territory alliance gimmick, so they do a lot of stuff overseas as well. And I faced him a few times, 2 or 3 times, and every time we faced, it's just we can call it in the back, but then it's like if there's an audible, or like I remember this is big strong fuck here. We had a spot where he was supposed to give me a jumping Rana off the top rope, right? So he comes running up and he can jump effortlessly. So he jumps up and I catch him, but he, I guess, wasn't leaning forward. I think it was that, and I wasn't hooked. So he fell off, right? But I literally slid down off it and landed on my feet and still had him up on my shoulders, right? And then from there, walked him out, which we did at the spot anyway, but got him up, set him down, boom, you good, yep, and then into our next gimmick. But it really is that simple where it's like, you know, we had 15 minutes and we're just rolling. Crowd is hot from start to finish. From the minute we do our entrances to the minute literally we're in the hold actually going into the go home. And the ref goes, I need y'all to take, like, the ref's like, I need you to take it home. So I'm like, okay, take it home or go home, right? Because if you're saying take it home, we can do the rest of our match. Mm-hmm. But if you're saying go home, like right now, yeah. He's like, no, go home right now. And so Dante's like, what do you want? And I'm like, and so I'm like, come up. So we're just like audible in it, right? So I'm like, come up, crowd's hot, take him back down. I'm thinking, all right, this, that, the other. I'm like, all right, cut the comeback, you know, hit this, I'll do that, then go into your sequence. But it's literally just that. It was literally that simple from the whole call it. No, we're going back down. Okay, they're hot about this. So all right, go. Here we go. Went to take it home, and it was like, but for me as of recent, I would say anyone in the group, but Dante Smiley, it's just been on.
Super Beast as well.
Okay, I never faced him. Never had the opportunity.
So much fun. We literally kick each other's asses every time. I just fought him in Oklahoma, and we literally just laughed in the ring as we kicked each other in the face.
Yeah,
like legit, like literally. He did a spinning whip, tail whip kick.
Yep.
Hit me on the side of my jaw, and I was like, nice. And I kicked him in the face.
Yeah.
Jeez. Hey. He's like, that's what I'm talking about.
So,
yeah, wrestlers definitely have a screw loose.
I have
like
you
3 or 4.
You can't do that with everybody.
I have like 3 or 4.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
It is a sense of trust that I let people, like, if I'm letting you actually kick me in the face, that's love. That's wrestling.
Yeah.
That's wrestling love.
Oh, we know.
But like if you kick me in the face and it was not, and I don't feel the same, like I don't know anything about it. Well, things just got interesting.
Yeah. No, I remember
the grocery store is opening up. Right. Everybody.
Yeah. I had Bam Bam real quick. I had Bam Bam, and I was giving him my elbows in one of the heat spots, and I really clipped him. And I go, I'm like, bro, you good? He's yeah. And so we're going whatever. So I do the stomp, this, that, or the other, doing something else. Well, he starts fighting back up. So I'll be damned. He goes to give me a forearm, but he tightens it a little bit more. So he clips me right across the jaw with his elbow. And I just, but you know, like when you throw, if you're the one that instigates it, you throw it and then it gets back, we're good. So sure enough, whatever, it was a hope spot. So he comes running back. I love it, leveled him, go for the pin. He goes, you good? I'm like, dude, I'm fine and dandy. He kicks out. I'm like, I go to grab him. I'm like, all right, we're even. And there's that respect. There's that love for, love for it. But yeah, you can't, I know there's one guy, and I won't name a name. I think you'll know who I'm saying, where we're rocking and rolling, and I clipped him. He's like, dude, and he falls over, and I'm just like, bro, you good? He's like, go away.
Actually, I can also bring up one though, because I'm pretty sure, because I watched the show, Rudy came on here talking about me.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Did he not? Did he not? He came on here talking about me hitting him or something like that? There you go.
Man,
I'm out. I'm done.
Let's just say some are
it's still some old receipts.
more masculine than others.
Hey,
Rudy.
we gonna
Wow.
wrap
We gonna
this
wrap that one up, B.
Hey, yo, you already know my name. Thank y'all for joining the Tag Team Champs podcast, and we have the RCW Tag Champs. And once again, if you're in the San Antonio area, make sure you go check the boys out, man.
And 360 Pro Tag Team Champions right here.
Once
West
again,
Texas.
Texan Championships, baby. All
And I'm gonna get the name.
2023
And I'm gonna
to
get the names right
2024.
this time. We have the Stone Titan, Edge Stone.
There you go.
And we have, and I can say it this time. The big, strong fuck.
Do some.
Big J Alexander here in the building, man. And you already know my name. It's the Beige Bomber, the Petty Messiah, your boy Corey Jared in the building.
I just want to go say one thing before we get off. I really would like to see this tag team.
I got to see it in person.
No, not even in person. I got to see it against the current road champion.
Hey, I was just gonna say, hey, put this
with it.
camera on me right now. I was just
love
gonna
to.
say, I'm
with
surprised y'all didn't
love
ask,
to.
but you know what? I
with
kind of
it.
monopolized the conversation, and we really didn't get a chance to say it. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm not gonna mince any words on it. Culture Inc., you're first and foremost. Fly Def, of course, you're on the list. The Russell Twins, you're definitely there. That's all, I'm telling you right now.
Calling out names.
Those are the top three. And hey, I make no mistake about it either. Superiority complex, right? There's gonna be a superiority complex when you're in the ring with Overkill. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can be as athletic as y'all want, but at the end of the day, y'all about this big.
All right, man. Y'all
Eat them
know what
Wheaties.
time it is,
Eat
man.
them Wheaties.
Don't watch me. Watch Dynamite
And
TV.
big shout outs to Sacred Stone Studios for having us here, man. The first episode of many of the Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast Network. And you already know what time it is, man. We up out of here. All right?